Good day. How is everybody this fine Friday? Hello, Sister Jeannie, CJ, Denise, and Maria. The Caballeros are getting more numerous. Thanks for coming to visit this Free-for-All Friday. We'll continue with the Catholic monarchy and discuss some of the arguments against it and obviously what the benefits of it. I hope you're all doing well and that you enjoy your Friday. And any new subscribers or visitors, welcome. Okay, thank you for coming. Please visit the website, ourladyisgod.com, which is not my website, by the way. I am a guest there, and appreciate Mr. Nobody for allowing me to post the Mass there and promulgate this truth, these truths, facts. Okay, let's get started with morning prayers and get right into our discussion. And remember, in all our dealings, we put the virtues in front of us, so that that is our guide, the Catholic virtues. And to maintain and really self-examine what we do and why we do it. Would the saints do that? How would they do that? Do something differently? Would they do something different? It's a constant analysis of how a good Catholic should be, and we're getting into an area where we're becoming more viewed and more popular. And popularity isn't necessarily a good thing. We're not looking for numbers. We're looking for people who are being sent by the Trinitarian Theophany for the sacraments and, again, for truth and fact. You can see it in the person personally. So, and I hate to use that fruits thing all the time, but you can, by how they are and how they react to things and to people, what they strive for, etc. One example we were trying to get across to one of my children's was even a small deception leads one, especially since the small one you'll probably get away with. The small one leads to a bigger one, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and things turn out really, really poor for you, because then you start to lose sense of that I must say the truth, or I must be truthful, I must be a child of the Trinitarian Theophany. Thank you also for all your prayers for my granddaughter. She's doing well, wonderful. And so that was a great thing to experience and be a part of, as you all know. So let us place ourselves in the presence of the Trinitarian Theophany, and in Catholic contemplation humbly adore the Divine Family. Most holy and venerable Trinitarian Theophany, one divine family, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O Trinitarian Theophany, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Trinitarian Theophany, I love thee above all things, with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. And again, as for those new or who have been watching for a while, I'm working on my Latin pronunciation. So if you see me stumble, practice makes perfect, and I am practicing. And typically, it'll take me probably a few more weeks to get it down. It's just like learning the new Rosary 150. I say new, the Rosary 150 in Latin. If it's new to you, it takes time, it takes memory, and it takes work. And the younger you are, usually the faster you can pick something up. The brain has to retrain itself. And it's good to do that, because if your brain is constantly just set, it's like you can't build new pathways to learn. And it's absolutely necessary to continue to learn with grace. Let us thank the Trinitarian Theophany for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven. O Trinitarian Theophany, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good. And let us beg of the Trinitarian Theophany the graces which are necessary to us. O divine family, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Deum Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all, because they offend thee, O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. But what about all the corrupt monarchs who ruled the Middle Ages? We continue with Monarchist FAQ, written by Charles A. Colomb, which I do like. And thank you, Charles, for putting this together. Charles may not like me, but I do like Charles. What about all the corrupt monarchs who ruled the Middle Ages? But what about all the saints who also ruled? As Catherine Goddard Clark put it in her Our Glorious Popes, page 59, quote, We have been slowly and deliberately taught. That's their method, the evil ones, slowly and deliberately taught that monarchies and kings are bad things, and papal supervision of any kind in government, even over its morals, is a very bad thing. And again, I'm going to interject here. Who would say those things except for those who want to commit, very bad things, immoral acts? Scarcely anyone has ever told any more that France, Spain, and Portugal, Poland and Hungary, England and Sweden, all had kings and queens who ruled their lands gloriously and brought untold happiness and well-being to their subjects. Today, I'm interjecting again. Today, that's all you hear. Okay, that is a programming method. Okay, that they have instilled upon people. Their natural reaction is almost verbatim. I don't want a dictator, something like that. So, and also the forgetfulness. Okay, they expunge historical facts about how good those times were, especially for Europe. That's why Europe is going through its purge now, because they allowed their kings and queens to be removed. Catholic kings. Let me correct that or clarify that. Indeed, the pages of both Dom Guéranger and Alban Butler, whose respective Liturgical Year and Lives of the Saints are true classics, are filled with accounts of royal sanctity. There were, to be sure, corrupt kings, just as there were and are corrupt clerics. But that does not change the fact that the institutions these fallible humans represent are capable of producing greatness in a way their alternatives cannot. So the exception makes the rule. Examine the history of any republic you like, with the exceptions of such men as Garcia Moreno in Ecuador, Lucas Alaman in Mexico, Engelbert Dollfuss in Austria, and Heinrich Brüning in Germany. Remember, these are republics, all of whom coincidentally were monarchists who thought the time of restoration as yet unripe for their particular countries. Okay, so we're examining the history of any republic you like. It is a record of mediocrities at best and monsters at worst. Given its track record, perhaps the adherents of republics should stick to theory and leave history be. Okay, but a dictator or a republic, which ending up in dictatorship, cannot have history that proves itself unworthy. Number 4, isn't a king simply a dictator with a crown? Certainly not. Every dictator is a self-made man. Having clawed his way to the top, he considers himself beholden neither to the Trinitarian Theophany nor man. His talent for acquiring power is generally unaccompanied by learning or skill in state. They use the word craft here, but I don't like that. In any case, hence the often crude and clownish impression made by such folk. Can we say what's in the White House now? Unbowed by tradition, he may rule according to his own whim. The other thing, quick mention, is the U.S. is such a mess. It's ruling right now. It's ruling by executive order. Okay, it's an illegitimate government that's ruling by executive order, which is it's just a form of dictatorship with a clown in charge. A monarch, on the other hand, is bound by tradition and ceremonial to reign in a certain way. He has been trained for his role since infancy and knows he owes his position to no talent of his own. In a word, a monarch may just have a little room for humility. No dictator ever can. Number 5, is the American Republic inherently evil? Let's see you answer that. Put yes or no in the comments box there. Is the American Republic inherently evil? In the sense that it was founded upon a bloody revolution and in accordance with anti-Catholic principles, yes. But the Trinitarian Theophany can bring good out of evil. Okay, the fall of man was redeemed by Deum Jesum Christum. As Samuel Johnson observed, quote, Satan was the first Whig, W-H-I-G, unquote. And if you look up your American history, you can see that was one of those parties, those early political parties. In a sense, every revolution against a monarchy motivated by greed and envy is another fall. But who can say what kind of redemption may not occur here? Certainly Americans have been capable of great good. 6, are republics in general inherently evil? Say, are republics in general inherently evil? And it's funny because there was, this whole patriotic thing going on there for a while where I was learning that, oh, wait a minute, everybody said democracy, democracy, democracy. And they said, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. And so now, you really, the men should learn these things, okay? The good Catholic men should learn these differences and find out the best and what they consist of. So, those which have been installed in accordance with anti-Catholic principles of 1776 and 1789 are the few which existed prior to that in Christendom, Catholicdom, were almost all city-states, owing ultimate allegiance to a monarch. But our current set are all imbued with the evil principles mentioned, quote, a state without a king and a church without a pope, unquote. 7, is it better to have a Catholic republic or a Protestant monarchy? That's a good question. Type in what you think would be best, or better, not best, better, if you only had those two choices. This is, in a sense, a false question. In Ireland, Portugal, Poland, and throughout Latin America, there have been attempts at a quote-unquote Catholic republic, by which is meant a republican state run according to Catholic principles. Sounds good, right? But what is involved here is really an anti-Catholic form of government staffed by Catholics. Should the latter be replaced by a different sort of folk, so, which is kind of what's happened, in our American Republic, the type of people in office, in offices and in positions change. Should the latter be replaced by a different sort of folk, as has happened in most of the places mentioned, the state and the local society rapidly become secularized. Hence, can you say transgenderism? Transhumanism? This is simply a case of the chickens coming home to roost, so to speak. In the case of a Protestant monarchy, the ones now extant, i.e. Great Britain and the Dominions, Canada, Australia, etc., Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and the Netherlands, as well as those overthrown, Prussia and the other Protestant German states, A basically Catholic institution was overlaid with a Protestant veneer. But the nature of the institution is such that even in such a case, it can bring to the fore individuals reminiscent of their Catholic forebears. George III and Edward VII of Great Britain, Gustavus III of Sweden, and Frederick William IV of Prussia come to mind. The great stability these countries possess, even in the midst of social change and quote-unquote quiet revolution, may be laid to what remains of value in their monarchies. In the case of a few countries, such as Saxony, where in the 18th century the elector, later king, returned to Catholicism, the benefits to the people were swiftly made manifest. And that's one thing I wanted to point out, and then I'm going to end and begin Mass, is, I just lost my thought, oh my goodness, the benefits to the people. What the lie that has been promulgated throughout Americanism is that Catholicism doesn't benefit the people. It is the most bizarre understanding that that we find difficulty trying to overcome with people. If they only knew, they would embrace it in a second. Taking all of this into consideration, I would maintain that a truly Catholic republic is not possible. What we call by that name is not preferable to a Protestant monarchy, if those are your only two choices. Now, I've noticed, I'm going to stop there. We'll talk more next week. Continue on, what if our king is a tyrant? But it's important to notice that there is more discussion. If you look in YouTube or other channels or search engines for Catholic monarchy, you're going to see more and more. So the awareness is starting to get out there, and it's an inevitability. And there's going to be suffering along the way, which I understand, and we have to offer that up as we go for the betterment of those who really don't know any better at this point. So let us begin. Deum vobiscum, quoque apotei. Oremus. O Trinitarian Theophany, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Suscipe, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, hanc immaculatum hostiam, quam ego, indignus famulus tuus, offeri tibi Deum meum vivunt verum, pro innumerabilibus peccatis, et offensionibus et negligentiis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed pro omnibus fidelibus Catholicorum, vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis proficiat ad salutem. Deum qui humanae substantiae dignitatem mirabilito condadisti, et mirabilius reformasti, Da nobis peruius acquiat vini mysterium eius divinitatis esse consortes, qui humanitatis nostrae fieri dignatus est particeps Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuam depecantes clementiam, ut in conspecto divinae majestatis tuae pro nostra totius mundi salute cum adore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiamur a te Deum Iesum Christum et sec fiat sacrificium nostrum in conspecto tuo hodie, ut placeat tibi Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni, sanctificator Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificit oblata prosequendor et accipere hoc sacrificium tuo sancto nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas hanc oblationem quam tibi afferimus ab memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Dea matronam nostrae, et Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem ad salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere dignentur in caelis, quorum memoriam agimus in teris, per eendum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meum ac vestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat apud Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis, ad laudam et gloriam nomini sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te, sursum quoda, habemus ad Deum, gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te igitor clementissimi mei, Mater et Pater, Deum Matram Nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum Nostrae, supplices, rogamus ac petimus. Uti accepta, habeas et sanctificas, hic sanctam sacrificam idibata. In primis quae tibi offerimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare, custodiri, ad honore, et regere digneris toto orbiterarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorumque tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We pray for Katie and Gage, Neil and Earl Lively, Mindy, Clarette, Maria Josephina Mose, Mark Jr., Henry, Barbara, and Benedict Santa Croce, Casey, Mr. Nobody, Ann Botink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Marie and the Lineweber family, John Cahill, the Dasco Nye, Tafor Began, and Wolf families, Maria and the Lineweber family. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantis Catholic Council office at Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child abuse, child trafficking, child ritual abuse, any kind of human trafficking, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium of exchange. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. Swimming upstream is a necessary requirement. We ask Deum Matronum Nostra, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, with this Mass, to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud. We ask you to destroy Rome and Vatican and retransfer the authority of the Catholic Church to Fatima, and ask you to release the souls controlled by the demons Lilith and Asmodeus. Send those demons back to hell. Please also block the passage of any so-called pandemic treaty by the WHO and any of those international organizations which are based on lies and aimed at removing the divine family's children's freedom to move and travel. Please also save or transfer the souls from under the dominion of any Jew or Freemason that gives support to Israel. Pray also that all kinds of microwaves and weapons using electronics are eliminated and cease to function. All this we ask in accordance with the Trinitarian Theophany's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio pro quibus tibi offerimus vel qui tibi offerunt hoc sacrificium laudis pro se suisque omnibus pro redemptione anomarum suarum prospe salutis et inculamitatis suae tibi credunt vota sua aeterno Deum vivo et vero communicantes et memoriam venerantes in primis gloriosae semper Deum Maternam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et beatorum martyrium tuorum Papae Sancte Petri et Sancti Lucia et Sancti Jacinta et Sancti Francisco et Sancti Juan Diego et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meditis precibusque concedas ut in omnibus protectiones tuae muniamur exidio per agendum Christum Deum nostrum quam oblationem tu Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratem acceptabilemque facere digneris ut nobis corpum et sanguim fiat didictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum qui pridiequam pateretur accepit panem in sanctis ac venerabilis manus suas et derivatis oculis et caelum ad te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens consecravit fregit dedique lumnis sui dicens accipite et manducate ex hoc omnes hoc est enim corpus meum simini modo postquam ceremonia est accipiens et hunc praeclarum calicem in sancta sacra venerabilis manus suas item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum consecravit dedique alumnis sui dicens accipite et bibite ex omnes hic est enim calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum haec quotescunque feceritis in memoriam facietis. Unde et memores Deum noster servi tui, sed et plebs tua sancta iustem Christum filium tuum, Deum nostrae, tam beatae passiones, nec non et ab inferis resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosae ascensionibus offeribus preclare, maestate tuae de tuis donis ac datis, supra quae sub propitio axore novutur respicere digneris. Supplices te rogamos Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iubi haec perferi per manus tuum ut quod, et hoc altaris participatione sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem, serimus omni sanctificatione, cae lesti et gratiare per amor per eundum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for the sick, for those who have died. We especially pray for Anton Stelzer, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibus in Christum, quies gentibus locum refugerii, lucis et pacis, in indulgeas deprecamur, per eundum Christum Deum nostrum, per quem haec omnia Deum Iesum Christum, semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum, et cum ipso, et in ipso, est tibi Dea Matram omnipotenti unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea Matronam Nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea Matronam Nostrae, Materam Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quaesmos, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis, praeteribus, praesentibus, et futuris, et intercedente beata et gloriosa semper Dea Matronam Nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis, da propitios pacem in diebus nostris, ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato simus semper liberi, et ab omni perturbatione securi. Per eundum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum, et quoque apud te, haec commixtio et consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat accipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apud te, Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Dea Matronam Nostrae, qua prante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam unum vivicasti, libera me per hoc sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me tui semper in haerere mandatis, et ate numquam separare permittas, qui cum eo Deum, Dea Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indignus sumere praesumo non mihi proveniat in judicium condemnationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi ad tutamentum mentis et corporis, et ad medelam percipiendam qui vivis et regnas, cum Dea Matronam Nostrae, in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panam calestem, accipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deam matrona nostrae non sum dignus, ut introducem tectum meum, sed tantum de verbo senabatur anima mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sum dignus, ut introducem tectum meum, sed tantum dic verbo et senabatur anima mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sum dignus, ut introducem tectum meum, sed tantum dic verbo senabatur anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retribuam Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quae retribuit mihi? Calicem, salutaris accipiam, et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae, et ab inimicis meis salvos ero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Quod ore samsimus Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiamus, et te munere temporali fiat nobis remedium sempiternam, sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum quod samsit sanguis quem potavi et haeriat disceribus meis et praesta, et in me non remaneat. Scelerarum macula quem purat sancta reficerunt sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O divine family, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, ite missa est. Deum gratia. Gratias. placeat tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta, et sacrificium cor oculis tuae majestatis eninus obduli tibis et acceptabile mihique et omnibus, pro quibus idut obduli, sit te miserante propitiabe per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum. Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinitarian Theophany, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and immaculate heart of Deum Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Thank you for listening, and I was a little long-winded today. I appreciate your patience. Thank you for your donations and your help as we struggle through these changing times where we're moving into a Catholic monarchy, and along with that is going to be suffering. Please pray for a special intention today. We'll be discussing, I will be contacting Mr. Nobody today to discuss something important, and I'll let you know how that goes as we progress. Please go and sanctify all those who you meet today, and have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.